Welcome back to Shout About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, aka the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Switch on the notification bell so that you know I'm releasing another video. Check out my Rumble, Spotify, and my X because I post on there as well. Listen, what I'm about to show you, I believe, exposes some major issues with self-ID, and this came about the day before the Scottish Hate Crime Act bill thing that was released today was dropped. Let's get into it. This is brilliant. So a young man goes into a queer fat club and says that he's queer and he identifies as, and please note these words, identifies as fat. You'll see what I mean. Let's get into it. Let's check it out. You'll be very intrigued by this, I'm sure.
This is a queer fat club.
I'm queer and fat.
Okay, thank you for joining. We're just introducing ourselves at the moment.
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Joe?
Yeah, my name's Joe. I go
Hi,
by
Joe.
Jay, and I identify as 275 pounds.
Okay.
Look at their faces.
I feel like Jay's kind of making fun of me, though. I know it's kind of a shock. I know, kind of a new thing.
I'm just,
Do what?
I said I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good.
Are you comfortable leaving the group at the moment?
Why?
I'm not understanding why you're joining the group.
This is the queer and fat group now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I came here for.
Okay. And you said you identify as fat?
Identify as fat.
Okay. This is just for fat-bodied people.
Yeah, I understand. I identify as a fat-bodied person.
I'm not understanding where you're
So
coming
she's
from.
Are you
saying,
guys comfortable with me here? I mean, I'm pretty chill on my end.
I'm not comfortable.
so she's saying that he's not fat, but he is self-IDing as fat.
No.
Can we take like a vote?
I'm gonna ask you to.
And she wasn't comfortable with that. This dude, this young man, they went into this fat club and single-handedly just exposed a load of issues with self-ID. And really, in light of the Scottish Hate Crime Bill, we know that there are major issues surrounding the self-ID and denying biological facts, which a lot of people are doing. And the problem is when you self-ID is that people who don't even look like who or what they are trying to affirm to, in this case, he was trying to self-ID as fat. They don't even look like it. So therefore they make people feel uncomfortable, unsafe, unprotected. Okay. All of those people in that fat group all are fat except for him, and they felt immediately uncomfortable. They couldn't understand why he was there because he didn't look fat, even though he self-ID'd as fat, and that just exposes the issue. I mean, do you remember this? Now, I haven't actually covered this on my channel, and the reason why I didn't cover it is because it didn't really come to light whilst I was here where I am right now at my recording station. I was away when it actually was exposed. And the alleged transgender woman exposed for sharing inside Planet Fitness women's locker room returns as gym chain reportedly loses $400 million in value. Of course, this was March 20th, 2024. But this woman here with the gray hair, she felt uncomfortable because this apparently is a trans woman at the moment, not looking like a woman. Now, if you want to be trans, if you're trans, that's absolutely fine. But in my opinion, You shouldn't be going along with self-ID, looking like this into a woman's space until you are so passable that I wouldn't even be able to tell that you're a biological man. See, this is the issue with self-ID. That's what I think. Now, do I think that this trans woman is safe in the man's space, in a man's space? Not necessarily. Don't necessarily think that. And I'm all for having trans women locker rooms, trans male locker rooms, trans men locker rooms. I'm all for that. Because at least then you'd be safe in with your own community. But, it just exposes the whole issue behind self-ID. And J.K. Rowling's tweet that I spoke about, where she covers these people who don't look female and they are self-IDing, with except for one that says they have a gender recognition certificate. Can you see the problem? I could go to Scotland and I could join this queer fat club right here, say I identify as queer and black. And
do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Joe?
Yeah, my name's Joe.
they could see that as a problem. They could even see that as a hate crime because I'm saying that I'm doing this, or them booting me out of the group, like they're booting Joe out of the group because he's self-IDing. He could go to the Scottish police if he were in Scotland and say, Rachel did that. Rachel said this. Rachel said that. See, so self-ID, there are many issues surrounding self-ID. With regards to trans, there is a trans woman that said something that I actually really do respect. When you are living as a trans person, you are, a trans man or a trans woman, you are only a guest in that world. You are only a guest in that world. So you have to show respect for them and kindness for them. You have to do that and understand that trans women being in female spaces can make them feel extremely uncomfortable and threatened, and that vice versa. If you want to be trans, if you have gender dysphoria, knock yourself up. By all means, transition. That's fine. I ain't got a problem with that. But this kid, this young man, just single-handedly exposed self-ID and the issues surrounding self-ID. In my opinion, that's what I think he did. What do you think? Let me know. Please do let me know. Chat about it, don't shout about it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Rumble, my Spotify, and follow me on X, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.